Hi guys, you know me, I'm Anuradha, and today we're going to discuss something very interesting. The subject is social media and how it has affected our society. So this is the first session of a series of sessions that LoudST is going to conduct. The session is called FCT, stands for Fireside Chat with Thinkers. A fireside chat is a casual conversation. And with thinkers, because some of us have opinions which we may or may not get a forum to express on, and we definitely don't go on TV shows and express ourselves. So hence this way of expressing ourselves, and LoudST is going to enable us further and further. So let me talk a little about what the subject is all about. So remember, once upon a time, we would call this world the virtual world. Okay? Now this is very real. Right? So the world has two spaces. One is the physical space, another is the digital space. And both these spaces are extremely intertwined. And so when social media entered our lives, social media entered with the claim that they're gonna enable us with human connections. They also claimed that they would allow for self-expression. It definitely began there, but I think social media, this is my opinion, I think social media has traveled quite the distance in terms of how it affects the human society, how it affects the individual, because now it has a hold on the individual. We are hooked. We are in fact hooked in a social, a validation loop. We seek validation on social media. And there's also this hold on how social media influences society. Besides, we can see those changes in our the narratives are changing in our political discourses, the narrative is changing in our social discourses thanks to social media. So I wonder if social media is rewiring the human society. So now I'll open the discussion for you all. We'll start with the person on my right.
Yeah, hi, my name is Subhash. I would look at social media in a slightly more fragmented way. There is Facebook and Twitter on one side, and the rest of social media on another side. If you consider WhatsApp also to be social media, I don't think anybody will complain about WhatsApp. It's kind of made access very easy. It's helped us, connect with other people, talk to you quickly. It has business implications and so on. Similarly, if you look at LinkedIn, very professional platform. Again, I don't think too many people complaining about it. I think the real issues are with Facebook and Twitter. Again, if I look at Facebook and Twitter from a business perspective, they have some positives. At a personal level, I'm not sure how much they have added to society. What they've definitely done in the last 7-8 years is fragmented and polarized society in the worst possible way I've seen in the last 75 or 80 years. I think the algorithm-driven manner in which they are driving content onto consumers is dividing society like no end. If the next World War happens, it's going to be because of Facebook.
So my name is Anupama. I'm not going to probably get into the positives and negatives of social media, so to say. What I feel is that social media is, from my perspective, can be divided into platforms that are connection based. So you have Facebook, you have LinkedIn, etc. And the other side of it, which are more relationship based or more interest based. So WhatsApp or Pinterest, all of those for me fall into that category. How I have evolved, or my consumption has evolved over the period of time, has been that I have somehow naturally weaned off the connection-based platforms. So I have weaned off Facebook. I can see myself weaning off Instagram now. LinkedIn is a necessary evil if you are professional or if you have to maintain a profile in the professional space, that sort of thing. But I do not see myself engaging a lot. There has been some positives of LinkedIn, but not much. So that's about the connection based. However, I have seen myself engaging more and more in the relationship based or interest based platforms. So on WhatsApp we have a health group, and I'm pretty active there. So we also have a platform called Pinterest, and I really use it a lot.
When I started with the Facebook and the Orkut, so basically before Facebook I was into I think most of us were in the Orkut, right? So Orkut was a platform where we were trying to connect to most of our near and dear ones, but we have lost them physically. So Orkut helped us to connect to the social media and to other people, at least I say can logically, but not on the mindset, because every people have their different mindset. Slowly from there we moved to the Facebook and some other social media, but for me the social media is not just the Facebook and other things, right? It's all which has kind of the digital concepts. Everything has moved to the digital, and everything is basically become a social media for us right now. So even if you study something, it's not just a study, you are putting some feedbacks on top of that, you are giving some comments, so that's making you interactive. So that's what a social media is for me also. But right now I'll say I work for a IT industry, so I have some other concepts and understanding of the social media. So I will just share one of my experience. So in the old days of around 2006 or 7, we used to take some pictures, and we used to ask our friends that put a captions for this kind of pictures, what kind of story you can put for these pictures, right? So it means that we are putting some stories, we are saying that who all were present in this kind of pictures, who all our friends, where we have taken these pictures, right? So we were not understanding what social media is going to use these pictures and this for in the long run, but now we understand. So, and that was because kind of the machine learning and the artificial intelligence that social media is performing on this. So I am very much, I feel dangerous about these concepts, about the social media, the way people are using it. Okay, it has made people life available to each and everyone. Each and everyone knows what you are doing, where you are doing. Okay, so that's really dangerous for me. I think that the way social media is getting used, the data privacy is not there. We are really putting each and everything of personal life on the social media. We should stop doing this. Few days back I saw a message somewhere, Google is looking for employees, and the message was don't send your resume, we have your resume. So that's kind of the place we are into right now. Okay, so nowhere Amazon is coming with the options that based upon your purchase pattern, they are shipping the products to your home without any price. Use that, if not, deliver it back. So this is the way we have opened our life to the social media, where I am really very scared. So I hope that I don't deny the social media is required or not required, but we really need to have a control on the social media in terms of the data and the post which we are putting through. Okay, so I'll pass on the mic to my colleague. She must be having some other thoughts.
Hi everybody, my name is Surabhi, and like all of us here, the first time I got introduced to social media was in 2004 when I opened an Orkut account, and that was like the in thing because we were able to connect with all our old long lost friends, and we could see how they look now with just typing their name and surname. And then I went on to Facebook. Thanks to Facebook I got married also, so that was one good thing about Facebook. And I have been like a regular average Facebook user, like updating, sending photos, checking in, and then there was this new thing of tagging people and like, you know, where you're flying from, where you're going, so all your holiday photos you are sending, and you seeing good comments from people, and it gives you a high. So this went on, and there was a time when I was at a peak. I was using Facebook for everything, and by that time Orkut was like long forgotten. I don't know how Facebook took over Orkut. I think because of the way you could use it with ease and all the other things which were added in it. So we started using Facebook more and more and more, And then sometimes it was quite useful also. See, my husband was a sailor, so he used to sail for half a year. So I was part of a community, a sailor's wives community, where we were exchanging. You had some problem, you just write it on that forum and you'll get replies. So those were very good things. There was once a captain who was taken into a prison in a foreign land. So his family needed support here, and we all could gather and give her support, and that also got the captain back. So those were the good things of Facebook. Then came a point where Facebook came off our computers and into our phones. That became much more easier, like you could send videos, you could give live feed and all. And then one day it came to such that there was this column where you could add people, like people you may know and all. So that was also nice. You could add your neighbors and whoever you were crossing around like regularly. It was coming on its own on Facebook. And one day my gardener's photo came up on it, like people you may know, so you can add. And that is the day I realized that these people are also on Facebook. I mean, I'm not being trying to bias on class of people and all, but still it means that if I can see his photo, he can also see my photo. So that was the day I realized that this is not very safe anymore, and like checking in and putting things that you're traveling here and there is not safe. So I have, that was about 2-3 years back, and since then I've been like consciously trying to wean myself off those live feeds and all the updates and all. And yeah, I've stopped using Facebook or Instagram that much as I used to. Still I do, mostly to wish happy birthdays or happy anniversaries and all, but I've not put up a new photo for the last 2 years. Yes, for which I was there in Facebook. So those are my experiences with social media.
Hi, I'm Santosh. Pretty interesting to hear, about my friend's view. I have a slightly different take. I see no demerit. I think it's a very natural way of how any new tech evolves. The very word social means it has to be equitable. So I think, and rightly so, I think social media has brought a lot of equitable, justice is not a right word, but so people in tier 2, tier 3 city, for example, when we were growing up, a lot of things were only the people staying in metros, they had privileged access to. Is no longer the case. Today even my mom, she mentions that she can access all recipes on YouTube. It's a huge thing. I absolutely see no negative, that way all medias can be, I work for a media company. Every media, anything, any platform where you're reaching out to people can be used and abused. So eventually I think that time will take care of it. Facebook already, they are investing huge sum of money to ensure that artificial intelligence, they wean out all the fake news. So maybe 3 years down the line you won't have any fake news. It will be much more moderate. On the business side, I see this particular social media making a huge difference in terms of awareness. For example, we have I am a part of a real estate forum called cheatedbuyers.com, where we are trying to make consumer aware about the malpractices what a developer does, and in a span of 6 months I have seen that actually there's a lot of awareness which people have. So I see all positives. Negatives will wean out in a matter of time.
I am Rajesh. Yeah, so since it is coming to the fag end of the circle, quite a few things will be repetitive. Yes, awkward is the first thing where you got to know that something like this exists. Though the friend who introduced is the wrong word, who tried to tell me what it is, it took a long time to explain, because today we all can understand what a networking site is. Those days it's like you had to go there, sit there and type, and and we all know the connection speeds, good old days, right? So by the time you type, you have to wait. You can actually have a tea and come back and see, whether the page has appeared. So it was a big thing, right? Somebody, and specifically you put the name of your crushes and see how they're doing now. So somebody is married in US and settled. So you feel all, whatever, jealous, good, everything. So this was going on, but so I was in awkward, and then obviously the job scene, you look for jobs. Those days, LinkedIn and all were not all that handy, or I don't think they were even there in 2000. I'm not too sure if LinkedIn was there. But what eventually happened to me personally was this: the use of social media was moderate simply because of the access. So I still remember you got to pay and go and sit in a cafe, and obviously you are mindful, you watch your time. 1 घंटा है तो उसमें बहुत कुछ काम करना है, right? So you restrict your social media probably to X number of minutes, and then you do your other bit searching for whatever you want to look for and come back. So what really tipped, and this is also from the observation point of view to what happened. According to me, the three combination. The one is, of course, the media giants, social media giants like Facebook and Twitter, making it user friendly and, so to say, lucrative for everybody to come join us. The in thing is to join. So that is the one thing. And second thing is the screens. Like you said, so it's not anymore you got to log into a computer, you can access it through mobile phone. That is the tipping point, I believe. And the third is obviously the affordability. In the sense, you don't have to go in a cafe and sit, pay X number of rupees and sit. I'm just fast forwarding. If you come today and specifically talk to tier 2, tier 3 cities, how it has been, no need to mention Geo or whatever. So these three for me is the deadly combination. And also the reason why about a couple of years back I decided it's time I got off. And it's purely for personal reasons, and it hit me like on one fine day. I remember I was with my son, who then was 2.5-year-old, and we were in the garden. I had come early, so I was in the garden with him, and he was in the swing or something, because I don't know what exactly he was doing. Why I don't know, because I was on my phone, right? So I'm just busy going through WhatsApp or whatever it is. So by then somebody comes back, udhar gir gaya hai wo, so obviously you rush and you pick him up, and so he was really pissed off, right? So he was really angry. But then it hit me like, I just looked up and I realized that 90% of the adults, right? So apart from the helps who are there to support the kids, they're obviously not on the phone so much, but everybody else is busy on the phone. So the kids are all by themselves. So there was a clear-cut two set of people. One is who are not on the platform. That's because they are below 7 years old or whatever it is, and rest all who are on the platform. And it was crazy. So I said, this is definitely not what I wanted. And most of the time you have excuse. It's something urgent. Office se kisi ne kuch pucha hai, ya fir, I had to respond to this. So I have my set of excuses, so to say. But it kind of really shrunk very low, it definitely didn't demand what I was trading it for. So I went back and kind of, I was always told by people कि एक बार मुझे मजाक उड़ाते थे कि तेरा root cause very simple है, उसको निकाल देने का बस. So I went and deactivated. Obviously I searched for delete. There is no delete button. That's when I realized that there is no delete button in Facebook. That's about 3.5 years back. So I deactivated it, and just to see, what happens. How much is it really, would bother me or something. I thought the world will come to an end, nothing happened, basically. The second straw was WhatsApp, pure irritation of family groups being added every 4th day, and good morning roses, I hated them. So I said, one fine day, so honestly I had to change the SIM, because whenever you come out, somebody will add you back. Right, so change the same. And this also I did for various reasons, because I'm a behavioral trainer, so we do a lot of work to tell others, right? So you go and preach people, particularly corporates, or what to do. Then I said, if I have to preach, I know I'm running out of time, give me one more minute, I said it's best to practice. So today, if you ask me, cut the long story short, I am definitely coming out of it purely for the personal and productivity reason, because I was reading this guy called Carl Newport, and I become a big fan of his book. 2 books he's written. One is So Good They Can't Ignore You, where he says that today the social media platforms are giving you a feel, and I agree with that you're doing something really productive, whereas your actual core job, whatever you are doing, is actually getting not the due that it requires. And I went and actually mapped, how do I spend my 8 hours, let's say morning 9 to 5. So it's not about the time lost in social media, it's not the X amount of hours lost, but how much of a fragmentation it does to what you can actually do. It's tough. I still can't get off Twitter because of the addiction, obviously, but Facebook is out, WhatsApp is out, but slowly I think I'm on the edge where I would probably come out of these things. Thank you.
Myself, Bharti. For
Social media, I also started with Orkut, and we were from such a that after 12th we hardly had the privilege to meet our friends. So when Orkut came, we were like very much happy that okay, now we getting in touch with our friends. But धीरे धीरे when Facebook came and we हम बहुत ज़्यादा involve होने लगे. But now what I can realize is अच्छा है, वी ऑल आर गेट इन टच विद, सबसे नेटवर्किंग अच्छी हो रही है आज के डेट में. सपोज फॉर लाइक विद आवर पेरेंट्स, पहले हम 6-6 महीने 1-1 साल अपने पेरेंट्स को देख नहीं पाते थे. नाउ वी कैन सी 2 times 5 times अ डे. बट ऐसे में डू वी हैव रियलाइज दैट हम रेस्टोरेंट जा रहे हैं, 4 people are there and all of them are with their mobiles, and we are not even talking to each other. We are talking to people whom we are not with them. अपने साथ हम बाहर गए हैं, we are there at home, we are not talking, we are talking to somebody who is far away from us. ठीक है, कनेक्ट होता है, बट अपना फैमिली, अपने लोगों के साथ जिनके साथ हम हैं, that is also important. So I use Facebook to certain extent, Twitter, everything, but yeah, I restrict myself. उतना नहीं करना है. I have to spend time with my friends, families, everybody. That's it.